welcome to Take Note TV. I'm Emerald and I'm welcoming my very special guest today, the wonderful Mollie Collins.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Yeah, cool, yeah?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Sick.
Let's talk about radio, as it's something that we both do, we have in common, we share a love for. And I want to talk about KISS in particular. How long have you been on KISS for?
I think it's since 2018. I think, it could be wrong, but I know it's about 3 years this year. I started on Represent at first, then went to KISS Fresh, did Tuesday nights on KISS Fresh, then we moved to Saturday nights on KISS Fresh, and then at the end of last year I've gone to KISS FM, and I still do KISS Fresh. So at the moment I do KISS Fresh and KISS FM, both on Saturday nights. But that's the journey, so I went from Represent, KISS Fresh, and then, yeah, KISS FM.
Wicked. So
yeah.
You've done a few different slots on the
KISS
station.
Fresh, yeah. I think they moved it from Tuesdays because it was like doing really well. They wanted to make it more of like a weekend, you know, going out sort of vibe, which worked really well. And obviously KISS, they've just launched KISS Nights, which is a whole new like sort of part of KISS. It's more about dance and stuff, dance presenters. So yeah, I do Saturday nights 1 AM now, sort of like filthy drum and bass vibes. Yeah, nice. It's really cool.
So it was too filthy for Tuesday.
Too filthy for Tuesday. Too filthy for a Saturday on Fresh. Yeah, like that.
Perfect. And how did you get your foot in the door at KISS in the first place? Did they approach you or did you send a demo in first? What was the process?
I'm trying to remember. I think, so I know Charlie T. I knew her quite well. And then I actually met Charlie Powell. She's now at Capitol, but she was at KISS, she was a producer. I met her at High Contrast album launch, this was a while ago. She said about me doing a demo, and then I went and did a demo, just like a mixing demo. With me it was more like, can I actually talk? Because obviously they knew I could mix, but it's like, can she actually present a radio show? With myself, I was like, I don't actually know if I could, so, but with training and that, yeah, and then they had like a space available for drum and bass, because Hype, he's a legend, obviously, he had his show for years, but he decided to leave. So they had a space and they called me up, and it was like, oh, would you like to, obviously, I was like, well, yeah, obviously, I'll take that.
No, I think I'll pass, actually,
yeah.
Cheers.
So that's sort of how I got into it, really. Yeah, I did do a demo, but they kept it for a while. I had to wait for a space sort of thing. Yeah. Then one came available. So, yeah.
When you say you had to, I guess, learn to be confident in speaking and talking on the radio, which is something that's easier said than done. I think a lot of people take that for granted.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
It's weird because I know like a lot of presenters, it comes natural, and some presenters, like they do radio shows, you can tell they're a born presenter, and some of them you can tell they're like more into the mixing the tunes, and the presenting just comes with it. There's sort of different types of presenters, as I'm sure you know. So for me it was more like I can mix and play tunes, like I can play loads of tunes in an hour or whatever, but it's like I need to learn to actually speak properly and like present this show how KISS want it, because obviously different radio stations as well, like things presented in different ways. So yeah, it took a while, and obviously all the hard work I did on KISS Fresh obviously paid off, you know, because they managed to give me a show on KISS FM, which is, for me, I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm talking on KISS FM, like, that's me talking, it's mad. So yeah, it is a weird one with presenting. I guess you know as well, like different radio stations, they want different things from presenters as well, so you just have to like learn, really, yeah.
I remember the first time when, rather than it being a presenter-led show, it was more about the mixing. Yeah. And then having to almost relearn that was another thing, because it's like presenting while you're mixing is a whole other thing as well, which is another thing to get used to.
It is, like when I had my show on Fresh, it was more like how many new tunes can I get in an hour, you know? Yeah. Now I've got a 2-hour show, it's a bit like slow down with the tunes a bit. Still mix like it's a good mix, but like slow down a bit more and have space to obviously talk as well. So yeah.
But actually let a tune play to the end.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I still don't do that actually, halfway.
Never to the end. Yeah. And you produce the show yourself, right?
Yeah, at the moment, because obviously the world's a bit mad, Charlie, who was my producer, she actually left, went to Capitol. So we sort of said, okay, I can sort of do this myself to an extent. So I obviously sourced my own tunes, obviously. mix the show, like actual mix on the decks and stuff, and then I'll obviously track list, roll, that boring stuff, and then I do the voiceover links at the moment at home, because obviously can't go to the studio. So I do that at home, and then I'll just write out the timings where they need to go, and then I'll send them off to someone at KISS. No, I've just been gifted actually a new producer.
Lovely.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll be on it to help me out a bit more. He's already on it, to be fair.
Wicked. It's always funny, that presenter-producer relationship, I find, is like a difficult one sometimes.
Yeah.
When you find someone that you work really well with, it's like, yes,
yeah,
so
man.
important.
It's like when I had Charlie, like we were so like get on so well, like always jokes and that. Obviously when she left, like I'm proud of her and that, 'cause she was more of a producer at KISS, but she's gone to take on like a presenter role, you know, at Capital. Nice. So like she's smashing it. But yeah, we did have a good bond. But obviously this new guy, John T, his name, he's going to come through for me.
Yes, John T.
He's going to be sick.
Shout out to John T.
Yeah.
And how do you go about when you select guests and when you're choosing music for the show? What's your process?
So usually a lot of the time I'll have like management from the label or like radio pluggers. They'll sometimes come to me, or I'll approach people that are doing well. It's a bit of like either or, but like I'm pretty on point with my guests. Like all my guests now are like sorted till the end of April, you know, so like I'm usually like way in advance, you know. I like to be prepared for what I'm doing, so I know. But yeah, it's usually like managers of labels that ask me for guest mixes and stuff. Usually, that's usually what I find.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about your digging process with new music?
New music.
What's your actual physical process in that?
That usually comes to me as well, like emails. I get so many, it does my head in every week.
On that one.
You know, like
especially on Friday
as well. 'Cause what's your show? Do you do like a mixture of genres or?
Yeah, well, kind of, but it's all in the same sort of sound. It's underground, left field, bass and dance.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I imagine like mine's like drum and bass, but I imagine yours is a bit more than that. So for you, that must be crazy. Like
it's
even
crazy.
with me, with just drum and bass, I'm like, wow. Like some weeks I'm down to 80 to 100 tunes a week. Like it is mad. But I actually,
hard drive space.
That's, you know what I was just about to say. I was having all my tunes like on my MacBook, and my MacBook was like no space. I had to take them all off. I bought this like really shit Toshiba 3 terabyte thing from Curry's, just as like a storing. It's nothing else, it's just storing. I download my tunes on there, they stay on there just because it's got 3 terabyte. Did you know with record box, like as soon as you put it on an external hard drive, it's like, can't find this tune. And it's just like, what the hell, man? It's on there. But yeah, so I bought this like 3 terabyte Toshiba. So that's like my storing for the tunes.
Nice.
It's really slow, it does my head in. But just get so many tunes, you know, like when you're on the radio, everyone wants their tunes to be spun, and if they're good, like you got to take them.
Yeah, and so do you feel like, I mean, this is what I have, so many promos come through, so many producers and labels will reach out to you to get their radio airplay.
Yeah.
And you feel like you have to listen to everything because you might miss something really good.
It's true, isn't it? Because sometimes you get like a big label, like, and you're like, oh, well, you know that's going to be sick anyway, and then you get like someone like you've never heard of, and you're like, I'm going to check it out. You check it out and you're like, wow, this is sick as well. So you've got to check them all, really.
Yeah,
Cause
you have to.
You have to, man, definitely.
And then what about your outreach as well? So a lot of music comes to you, but then monthly, when obviously if you have the time, how does that work for you in reaching out to maybe people that you want music from, but it doesn't come to you naturally?
Yeah, so I'll just hit them up basically in the DMs. Yo, what's this tune, man? I want it for the show. Sometimes they're like, oh, you can have it, and then sometimes they're like, oh, you can have it, but please don't play it until, you know. And then once I'm like, oh, for God's sake, but gotta respect it, man. Yeah.
So let's talk about your hometown, Kent.
Yeah, Kent.
Which you've come from today.
Yeah.
Good old sunny Kent today. You've got a club residency in Kent, and it's on a Monday night.
Yes.
Which I want to talk to you about. Because what does that look like, a Monday night?
So imagine like loads of crazy 18-year-olds like just drinking £1 drinks, throwing up like just Jaeger bombs, snake bites. That's basically what it looks like. That's all I can explain it as. Like, you don't understand until you go. Like, it's just a mess, but it's so good.
And are you playing drum and bass for that residency?
Yes, I've been there 6 years, I think, this year. Like sometimes I'll like not play for like a couple of weeks just to air it, but pretty much most of the time, like when the students are about as well, I'm there every week. We've got like my own room now. They gifted me like my own floor, which is like the middle floor, which is like bass and drum bass. I have like this guy called Panda. He's like a resident. He's really cool. He plays before me, and then I'll play like 12 till 2 or whatever. Sometimes I'll get like guest MCs down and stuff as well. Yeah, it's just carnage. It's just carnage. When it's full up as well, it's mental. Even me, like I'm on the Jaegers sometimes, like whoa, having a right good time.
Oh, it's good to hear, because when I think of a Monday night, I'm thinking it might be a bit slow, but apparently not.
Oh no, it's the students, man. As soon as I hear £1 drinks and that, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, the drinks they're not great. You're just not gonna get a Grey Goose, you know what I mean? It's like some dirty, I don't know, Costco vodka, you know. But we love it.
We do love it.
We love it.
What do you think about weekday clubbing as a thing in general? Do you think it's something that should have a resurgence when we come back from this pause that we're having at the moment?
Oh, I'm up for it, man. Like, if you've got the time to do it, like people, and obviously people work a lot more Monday to Friday, but if obviously you've got time, you want to go out and have fun, why not, you know? You know, if you're self-employed, like, every day's the same, so...
Every day is a Saturday.
It is.
That's dangerous. It's dangerous to think that way.
You being tough on a Monday, yes. I knew it was a Saturday today.
Let's talk about New Zealand and Australia as well. So we've gone from Kent, now we're going to go all the way down to the other end of the globe. Let's go New Zealand, Australia, which you've got a really big following there.
Yeah.
And why do you think they love D&B so much out there?
They love it out there. Like, I went end of last year for a tour, and you could play like any sort of drum and bass, like jungle, jump up, liquid. They just love it all, man. It's so cool. I don't know why they love it so much. Like, they just go crazy for it. Like, even like they got like George FM, which is like one of their big stations, and they just play drum and bass 7 a.m. It's just like, but they all love it, and you just think, this is crazy, man. But I don't know, they just love it, and they proper go hard as well. Like, I don't know if you've ever been, but when you go to New Zealand and Australia, man, all the people are just so nice. Yeah. Just got such a nice vibe as well. So. And
they don't do parties by halves, do they?
They don't, no. Or drinking.
Exactly. And you've toured there, right?
Yeah, so we did a tour end of last year. For, I can't remember, 11 days or something. The flying was crazy, man. Like, I don't mind flying, but some of the flights, because they're short, like an hour maybe from like a place to a place, like they don't go high, and the planes are like quite small. God, once I was like just throwing up the whole time.
Oh no!
Yeah, just get mad, like sick, like because of the plane like moving and that. Yeah, it weren't good.
Too many Jaeger bombs.
No, honestly, there was no Jaeger bombs. There was none.
How was your tour in general, though?
It was pretty sick. Like, it was such a cool experience. We wanted to try and go this year because obviously you can go at the moment, but you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. But we just made a decision to just, because I've got so much music for the first time, like actually a back catalogue of tunes ready to release. We just made a decision to like just wait, put out these tunes, and then maybe go towards the end of this year. But we'll definitely go again, just not sure when.
Cool. Yeah. And you play a lot of big festivals.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of mainstream lineups, but your music has quite an underground tone to it.
Yeah.
In contrast to that, how do you keep the balance between having that underground creative satisfaction that you must? I mean, I'm assuming you crave and want to keep like that, versus taking on big profile offers.
I don't know. I think it's just a mixture of like when you do a set, like having them underground tunes, but then also having them commercial tunes. There's nothing better than like mixing a real commercial banger with something a bit filthy, and just then when they go together, like the reaction, because they don't expect it, you know. When the crowd, like, you think they start singing to this tune that they know, and then all of a sudden here comes like some absolute filth, and they just go mental. I don't know. I think that's the reason.
So you've got a winning formula.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. How do you feel like the music scene can be quite judgmental? Do you agree that it can be quite judgmental towards artists who do eventually reach a mainstream success or lean towards making more mainstream commercial music?
Yeah, I think there is definitely that. There is that side of it, definitely, in all genres, I think. I don't know, like, for me, I don't feel like I've really got, like, the big banger yet where I'm going to start getting judged for, like, but a lot of my music is actually commercial, like lyrics and musical, so maybe that will come that day for me, but I'll still love the filth. It doesn't matter.
As long as you got the winning
formula. My sets will never change, you know? It doesn't matter.
Wicked. I want to talk about the current pause that we're in at the moment as well. We've all been on pause for quite a while now. We've had lots of time at home, we've had lots of time to reflect, which can actually be a really positive thing for creative minds. You were just saying a minute ago how for the first time you've got a massive back catalogue of music. I'm assuming that's because we've been on pause, right?
Yeah, pretty much, because I've had loads of time. I wrote, I'm trying to think now, because we've gone so far into this mad world. So like, I released my debut album August, which most of it was wrote in the sort of first lockdown period. And then I thought, well, I've done my album. I might have like some sort of crazy block here that I'm not gonna be able to write anything because I've just like wrote 12 tunes and put them out. But then like I started reaching out to like different vocalists and stuff, and all of a sudden I've now got like 8, 9 finished tunes. It's just like just keep going because there's nothing else to do like apart from obviously radio and putting your efforts into that. I've got a big dog which I like to go out and do things with, Albert, hold tight Albert, watch you. That's like, you just got to write music. Like, it is hard though, because like, you can't just go into the studio every day and think, I'm going to write a banger today. Like, it just don't work like that. You've got to be in some sort of like vibe or an idea in your head, like, oh, I'm going to write a tune like this. Like, but yeah, fingers crossed, I haven't hit the writer's block yet. I did hit it before my album, because it does happen, but fingers crossed, like, I haven't hit it yet, but it will come. It definitely will come. But we have got like 8 tunes finished, so I'm happy.
Wicked.
Definitely.
You've got them stacked already.
Yeah, they're stacked, man.
And you built a studio, right?
Yeah, I built a studio.
In the garage?
In the garage, yeah.
How did you go about that project? Were there any things that were your priorities in making sure that that studio had that? Like, tell me about the process of building it.
For me, it was more like just having a space that wasn't in the house I could just go and escape to. Because we bought like our first house, we bought it. It had like a nice garage area, so put like loads of time, effort, money into it. It was more just about having like one vibe down one end, so like studio, make tunes, sort of like a mixing area for like when I do my radio mixes or whatever, and then sort of like chill out area. For me, it had to be a vibe, like an area where I could just create, chill, and have fun as well. We've tried to make it a bit acoustic-y, but yeah, we didn't really go too much into that, because I'm not really into like, with music with me, I'm not really into like, oh, that snare needs to sound like this, or the room needs to be acoustically like this, you know. For me, it's more just about the vibe and like the musical side of it, really, as a producer.
I thought you were going to say the filth then.
If you want me to throw that in there, then the filth as well.
Of course, the filth. Of course.
How many times I say filth in this video? It's going to be one of them things, the memes, do a shot every time.
And you learned to play the piano?
Yeah.
As well? Really well?
Yeah, well, I tried, you know, when I first started, it was a bit mad. Like, I thought, God, I'm never going to get this. But I started to learn, like, theory and actually doing it, like, as if I'm doing exams. I did, like, my grade 1, passed that. It's the most scariest thing I've ever done, honestly.
I've done it too.
Have you done it? You know
I've done to grade 4. It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Mate, you know, like, when you play in front of, like, the crowd, it's like, yeah, but then when you get like, you've got this one person that's sitting there like proper sick professional player, like judging you, who's just like, oh, see, it's proper nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah, sight reading, that's the most terrifying thing, I think.
It is bad, yeah. So I was meant to do my grade 2 at the start of lockdown. Obviously I couldn't do it, so just waiting for it to go back to normal, and then I'll carry on my lessons, really. But apart from like, I'm only doing like the exams to sort of help me theory and like reading, because eventually I want to like do a live show where I can play my tunes like live sort of thing. But yeah, as soon as I started learning piano, like it was so easy, like not just be able to hear if I was in key, but actually knowing to write in keys, you know, when you write tunes, because like, it's a big step, because if you don't know about that, then you never understand why it's not sounding right, if you know what I mean.
And is that why you chose piano? In particular?
I think so, yeah. Like, I think that's pretty much why. It's now, like, all my tunes pretty much have piano in them. They don't have to, because you can write whatever you want in a MIDI and change it to a different sound, but piano is just, there's something about it for me. I don't know why.
In terms of the pause and coming back after this is all over, there's kind of a light at the end of the tunnel at the moment, which is great. What changes would you like to see in the industry when we come back? Is there anything you're like, this needs to be different? Is there anything you want to leave behind? Is there stuff you want to see new at all?
I guess like maybe just like more, like, you know, when you see like the festival lineups and some of them are like pretty similar to the year before, you know, like maybe just like a few more like newbies that are killing it maybe on the lineups or something. That would be quite nice, because you always see like year after year, you see like some of them are pretty similar, you know, from the years before, so they're always booking the same sort of people. So maybe like some of the guys that have been killing it, guys and girls should I say, it's not excessive, guys and girls that have been killing it within this period, whether that's like they've released like a good tune, it's done well, or like they've been killing it on the live streams or something, like just maybe be nice to have some of them on the festival lineup. So yeah, I guess so.
Nice.
Don't really know what else. Probably it. Yeah, more filth.
More filth. Way more filth. Let's talk about gaming and VR.
Gaming
as well, because TDV's going on, Tobacco Dogs Virtual, that VR experience. Are you a gamer?
I do game.
What do you play?
Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite with the kids, yeah.
Wicked.
I do play Call of Duty sometimes, but I'm just really bad at it. And when I play Fortnite, I'm pretty good, you know, I can get like 10 kills a match, so I've got to play Fortnite.
You've got to stick to what you're good at.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you find satisfying about gaming?
I don't know, I think gaming's a weird one, isn't it? Because like it is fun to play, but also you can get frustrated with it, like when like things don't go your way. So I think it's just fun, isn't it? It's like there's no stress about anything. You're just having fun on gaming. Like if you do music or something, it's fun, but then you've always got these worries about, I don't know, what it's going to do for you, or is it going to go well, or whatever. But then when it's game, it's just like, kill him, build the wall, build the wall. You know what I mean? That's what it's like.
Escapism, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah. Do you think that music events like Tobacco Dogs Virtual, interacting with the gaming world, do you think that's going to be attracting a gaming audience to music, or a music audience to gaming, or both?
Maybe a bit of both, yeah. I haven't really read into the VR stuff about it, but I definitely want to check that out, man, because that's pretty sick to be able to do that. Like, I know Fortnite, sometimes they'll have like, I think maybe they had Steve Aoki once on this little stage or something, which is well weird. But yeah, I think like when you cross the music with the gaming, I know, what's that one where they do with the cars as well? I know Monster Cat always do it with I can't remember.
Is it the football car one?
Yeah, that one.
What's it called?
I can't remember.
Rocket League.
That's it. They always do like gaming with music and that. So I think it's cool because like music is definitely good for gaming, 100%. So to cross them both is a pretty cool idea, definitely.
Yeah, I always think about GTA and just the radio culture in GTA. It was fantastic.
Right, well, they have that on Fortnite now, mate. They have their old radio in the cars, so you have to check it out when you're...
There we go, Fortnite, here I come. Well, thank you so much, Mollie Collins.
No, thanks for having me, man. That's sick.
It's been lovely to chat to you today.
And you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Take Note TV. See you later.